Hello, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all, whatever time it is where you are, whatever day it is where you have been. Where I am, it is Tuesday, and hopefully it's in the evening, UK time at least. It's time for Quizcazoatl Lite, the pre-recorded, post-lockdown, lockdown-friendly, publess quiz event. If you are new to Quizcazoatl, welcome in. We're glad to have you here. If you've played before, welcome back. And to all of our regulars, a hearty hello. The Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz is a quiz in 4 parts presented by me, Little Chris. In a moment, we will be going to round 1. In round 1, we're going to have a spattering of trivia questions interspersed with some questions from our pictures. If you haven't already done so, we recommend that you go and download the full picture sheet in advance. It gives you something to look at, lets you get ahead of the curve. You can get that, providing you're playing in the week of broadcast at bit.ly/quizcazoatl_pictures. That link in clickable form can be found on the Facebook page or the YouTube, I think the About section, somewhere on the YouTube channel. We have that written down so you can click it. But fear not, if you can't be bothered doing that, I will be putting them up on screen, on the plinth, as we go along. After round 1, we're going to have a music round before we segue to round 2, which is more of the same, really. And then we finish with our wipeout round. As you should be able to see, the recorded version is about 40-45 minutes to play through, but you're probably going to want to use your pause function, because otherwise it'll all be a little bit hectic. When I put the international symbol of the pause on screen, just feel free to stop me and start me again when you're ready. If you can keep up, more power to you. Just go straight through. And that'll do with the admin for starters, except, of course, to say, don't just look up the answers. Where's the fun in that? You can always look it up later. I will be reading the answers out. The round 1 answers will be read after the music. The music answers will be read out when I remember during round 2, and the final set of answers will be at the end. There we are. That is more than enough admin. Let's go to question number 1. Can you tell me which body part gives its name to the calm centre of a storm? Then, question number 2. What's the stage name of the twin brothers that represented Ireland at the Eurovision Song Contest in both 2011 and 2012? Stage name of twin brothers, maybe? Twin brothers represented Ireland in 2011 and 2012 in the Eurovision Song Contest. Just while I remember, if you've played before and used the marking sheet, don't forget, we do not use the marking sheets on Quizcazoatl Lite, for you will send them in and there will be nobody to mark them. So just note your answers down on paper, on your computer, whatever works for you, even just remember in your head if you like. But yeah, don't send a marking sheet in, you'll be disappointed. Anyway, question 3 takes us to our first picture, and we have 7 celebrities. Can you give the commonly used names of these 7 people? Question number 4. The Whispering Gallery is a feature of which cathedral and is the seat of the Bishop of London? Question number 5. The popular tourist destination of Bali is a province of which country? Question 6 takes us to our second picture of the day. We have 3 more Venn diagrams for you. All you got to do, work out the missing item that could complete the sets. Replace 3 question marks for 3 points. Onwards, upwards and across we go to question 7. Can you tell me what type of astronomical object is sometimes referred to as a dirty snowball? Sounds like a cocktail, doesn't it? Dirty snowball. Question 8. Can you give me 3 different words or names, beginning with J, that appear in the titles of feature films directed by Steven Spielberg? Question 9, picture 3. We've got some rhyming animal pairs. Can you identify all 8 of these animals divided into 4 rhyming couplets? 8 animals means 8 points available on this one. There is a little bonus animal who's floated in the top right. He just clearly was looking for a friend. Don't pay too much attention to him. Question 10. What type of makeup product is Maybelline's Colossal Curl Bounce? And then, question 11. In the history of the English Premier League, which 2 footballers have scored the most goals directly from free kicks? Oh, it's all gone wrong for me. That's it. You throw in an answer in the background there, Jane the Temple Elf. I don't know if that was audible. You could count that as a clue, but be warned, Jane the Temple Elf knows very little about the footballs. On we go. Question 12 is picture 4. We have 5 kingly films for you. Can you name 5 films based on these stills taken therefrom? Question number 13. Can you tell me which former UK Prime Minister graduated with a degree in geography from St Hugh's College, Oxford, in 1977? And question 14 is picture 5. We have some more predictive texts for you. Can you identify 3 airlines from these predictive texts? Cast your mind back to your year 2000 thumb jamming skills. Question number 15. Which Hasbro toy has Star Wars themed versions that are known as Darth Tater and Yan Solo? Question 16. What is the first word of the novels Catch-22, Pride and Prejudice, 1984, and A Tale of Two Cities? Question 17 is our 5th picture of the day. We've got 4 more logos for you. Can you tell me the company's brands, organisations, or other that are represented by these 4? Question 18. In World War II, how many countries did the UK formally declare war on? Plus or minus 1 country on that one. Question 19 is our last picture of round 1, and we have 4 people all born in the same year. Can you name these 4 people? And tell me the year of their birth for a 5th point. And our final question for round number 1. Question 20. Can you tell me which large muscle group includes the 4 prevailing muscles on the front of the thigh? 4 prevailing muscles on the front of the thigh. I am now going to give you the pause symbol. That means you can stop me. You can even rewind me if you so desire. When you come back to this point and hit play, we are going to be going on to the music round. So get your round 1 answers done and dusted first. Okie dokie, here we go. It's time for the music round. I'm going to play you 6 snippets of songs from the decades spanning 1960 up to 2020, I guess, which is to say the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 10s, and, 2000s and 10s. All you got to do is tell me the name of the performing artists and the name of the songs. I can tell you in advance that we are not looking for any, any featured artist this time. So it's 1 artist per song this week. Here we go. My girl, my oh my, my girl didn't cry. I wonder why. Silly boy. Oh my girl, we had to break up. Silly boy. But then she would call my silly boy. When she said, to my surprise, giddy up and get away. We're always crazy and we're going today. Here we go. And I like it, 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 la like it, we go. I hear your voice on the line, but it doesn't stop the pain. If I see you next to never, then how can we say forever? Wherever you go, whatever you do. Heartbreaks and promises, I've had more than my share. I'm tired of giving my love and getting nowhere, nowhere. What I need is somebody who really cares. I'll be looking out night and day. Took my heart to the limit, and this is where I'll stay. I can't go any further than this. I want you so bad, it's my only wish.
Girl, I travel around the world and even sail the 7 seas.
It was a rush, but I gave it up. It was a crush. Now I might have wanna said too much, but that's all it was. So I gave it up. I live my day as if it was the last. Live my day as if there was no past. Doing it all night, all summer. Doing it the way I wanna. Yeah, I'ma dance my heart out till the dawn, but I won't be done when morning comes.
Alrighty, put me on pause as long as you like. You can even play them all to yourselves again, if you so desire. When we come back, round 1 marking. Alrighty then, round 1 answers. The body part that gives its name to the calm centre of a storm is an eye, although I'm told we can also accept heart, so there you go, but eye is what I would have said. The twins who represented Ireland in Eurovision twice were known as Jedward. What a happy memory that is for all of us. 7 people, all of them having OBEs, CBEs or MBEs. I don't know, I actually remember to read that out when we presented the question. So apologies if this would have helped you. I don't see why it should have done. But the people were Gabby Logan, Anthony Joshua, Rob Brydon, Victoria Beckham, Jackie Chan, Gareth Southgate, and Kate Winslet. Gabby Logan, Anthony Joshua, Rob Brydon, Victoria Beckham, Jackie Chan, Gareth Southgate, and Kate Winslet. The Whispering Gallery, question 4, is a feature of St. Paul's Cathedral, and question 5, Bali is in Indonesia. Our Venn diagrams. First off, we had 6T, the car rental company. I presume you're supposed to pronounce that 6T rather than just Sixt. Car rental companies and numbers with a T. Then we've got South Pacific, where musicals meet compass points and oceans. And then we have Alba. That's BBC channel names that meets the beginning of country names ending in an NIA. Alba as in Albania. BBC Alba. I guess it's at the new BBC Scotland, one would think. Question 7. It was the old BBC Scotland. I just didn't know it was there. What type of astronomical object is referred to as a dirty snowball? It is a comet. 3 J's in the title of feature films directed by Steven Spielberg. They are Jaws, Jones, and Jurassic. What's the Jones film? Jane the Temple Elf? Not a clue. Maybe that should be more obvious to us than it is. Question 9. We had some rhyming pairs. There's 8 points on this one. 8 animals means 8 points. We had whelk and elk. Then macaw and boar. Then axolotl and bluebottle. If you spelled axolotl wrong, dock yourself 4 points. And finally, goat and... Of course not. It's not a spelling test. And finally, goat and stoat. Question 10. Maybelline's Colossal Curl Bounce is a type of mascara. Then question 11. The big free kick scorers are Bend It Like, David Beckham, and also James Ward-Prowse. Can't even remember who he played for. Shows what I know. David Beckham and James Ward-Prowse. Question 12. Films with a king in. And they were The Lion King, The King and I, The Madness of King George, The Last King of Scotland, and finally, King Richard. Question, there's again, Lion King, The King and I, The Madness of King George, The Last King of Scotland, and King Richard. Question 13. The Prime Minister with a degree in geography was Theresa May. And question 14. The predictive texts, Qantas and Emirates and United Express. How could we not put United Express in? Qantas, Emirates, United Express for 3 points. Question 15. The Hasbro toy with the Star Wars themed versions is Mr. Potato Head. Question 16. The first letter of all those novels, first word was it. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It is a truth universally acknowledged. And then whatever Catch-22 says. Question 17. It was 2 weeks before the bomb line got moved in the big siege of Bologna or something. That's the sort of thing that Catch-22 would have started with. What is represented by the 4 logos in picture 6? It is the National Lottery. Then it's Imperial Leather. Then it's McColl's. McColl's, that's the little grocers, isn't it? And then finally Doubletree by Hilton, but you don't have to put the Hilton in. Question 18. How many countries did the UK formally declare war on in World War II? The answer I was looking for there was 8. 8 countries. I honestly don't know what they all were, but I'm sure they all got what was coming to them. Where are we then? Question 19. 4 people in a year of birth. Stella McCartney, Jeremy Renner, Regina King, and Johnny Knoxville. They were all born in 1971. 1971. Well, except anything from 70 to 72 for the 5th point. I should say. What have we got there? Yes, 4 people and a year. 5 points. Then the big muscles on the leg are your quadriceps. If you feel very keen, you can call them quadriceps femoris or quadriceps extensor. Alrighty. I didn't unpause to do any of that. That's outrageous. You'll be wanting to pause continuously as I went through. I hope you managed to cope. That's the end of that. We'll do music round marking in a little bit. In the meantime, let us come back with the start of round 2. An anagram for you. Can you rearrange the letters of Do Hang Your Traitor Now to reveal the name of a film franchise? Do Hang Your Traitor Now. And if you've finished hanging your traitor, we'll go to question 2. And it is, what G is a British meal kit or perhaps a recipe box retailer that is endorsed and part-owned by Joe Wicks? Question 3 takes us to picture number 8, and we have some headlines. Can you fill in the names that are missing from these headlines? We have got... Well, there's 2 names on the first headline. For this, we're doing 1 point per headline. So the first 2 names are worth 1, and then the next 2 names are worth 1 each. If you see what I mean. On we go to question number 4. Can you tell me which Williams sister is older? Is it Venus or Serena? And then question 5. Which American media organization posts lectures online for free under the slogan, Ideas Worth Spreading? I'm pretty sure they say it like that. Which American media organization posts lectures online for free under the slogan, Ideas Worth Spreading? Question 6 takes us to picture number 9, and it's 4 people. These people are now older, but imagine when they were younger they would have looked like this. But if they looked like that when they were younger, what would they look like now, and what would their names have become? Simple. 4 people, 4 points available. Question number 7. Can you tell me which Disney princess has a faithful horse companion named Angus? Princess with a horse called Angus. And question 8 takes us to another audio clue. We've got 3 more mystery voices for you. Listen to what they say, listen to how they say it, and identify the 3 people. I'll play them once, you can play them back to yourselves as much as you like.
Number 1.
We watched a lot of actors when we were shooting years ago, when a lot of actors would come from film, guest stars, and they were scared. It was a scary arena to be in front of a live audience. And what is comedy is nothing other than being truthful and honest, but just with crazy, odd circumstances.
Number 2.
We all found the rules frustrating at times, and I'm no exception to that. I had to isolate 6 times during COVID, pulling me away from my work and the things that I love.
Number 3.
I think they can do whatever they want to do. If they want to go into show business like Liza did, fine.
Alrighty. You just play them back to yourselves if you need to. I'll give you a pause break, and then it's on to question 9. Question number 9. What rhyming slang phrase that means things have gone astray was reputedly coined by the DJ Paul Oakenfold in 1987? Question 10. On to picture number 10, and we have some overlapping things. We have 5 pairs of things. What overlaps? Now we're giving you 1 point per pair on this one, so there's 5 points available for this question, not 10, only 5. We have an example there. You could have, for African countries, Namibia, do you see? With the overlap on the NA. See how you do. And question 10 is as good a time as any to go on to the the music round marking, I should say. And what did we hear? In the 1960s, we heard that Big Girls Don't Cry, which was eventually transmuted into Boys Don't Cry by The Cure, wasn't it? But it was by the Four Seasons, Big Girls Don't Cry. The Four Seasons. Into the 70s, we were rocking all over the world with the Quo, Status Quo. In the 80s, the song Right Here Waiting, and the artist Richard Marx, the fifth Marx brother. In the 1990s, the song was Show Me Love, the artist Robin S. No recollection of that name whatsoever, but Show Me Love by Robin S. Into the 2000s, and firmly into the songs I've never heard in my life, it's Meet Me Halfway by the Black Eyed Peas, and then in the 2010s, Lush Life by Sarah Larson. Big Girls Don't Cry by the Four Seasons, Rockin' All Over the World with Status Quo, Right Here Waiting for Richard Marx, I swear he was fine when I left him, Show Me Love by Robin S, Meet Me Halfway by the Black Eyed Peas, and Lush Life, Sarah Larson. Onwards to question 11. What word meaning a complication can be made by joining the chemical element symbols for tin and silver? Question 12 takes us to picture number 11. Can you name the countries from the stamps? 4 stamps, 4 countries. Question number 13. The playing area in what Olympic sport features 2 on-guard lines? The playing area in what Olympic sport features 2 on-guard lines? Question 14. Now, if you hated musical mashups, then boy are you going to hate this. This is intense, it's too much, and it may be that it only happens once. We'll see what we get next week. It is total musical chaos. You've got 6 artists to identify from a collection of 1-second intros. These are going to play the same set of clips 3 times. I assure you, by the 3rd time, you will have had quite enough of it. But if you haven't, feel free to rewind and play it back while I've got the pause on. Alrighty, you have been warned. I should explain what I want. 6 artists. So we've got 6 intros, and you've got to tell me the artist associated with each song. Here we go.
1.
I do my hair.
2.
I do my hair.
3.
I do my hair.
Okie dokie. So, if you want to hear that again, then you can play it back to yourself now. Otherwise, let us go on to question 15, which is... Oh, hang on, D-pause. Question 15, which is picture 12. We have 6 paraphrased Morgan Freeman films for you. Can you work them all out from these cryptic clues. Pause and unpause, and on we go. Question 16. Which ancient Greek scientist wrote the work On Floating Bodies? Which ancient Greek scientist wrote the work On Floating Bodies? Question 17. We get our penultimate picture for the day. 4 missing vowel vehicles. Can you identify the transportation types? From consonants only for 4 points. Question 18. Some North American geography for you. Can you tell me which US state shares a border with Canada's Yukon Territory? Question 19 is picture 14. Can you name some geographical features? We have colour-coded the French departments whose names refer to these 7 geographical features. So some features are referred to by the name of more than one department. Can you name them all in English? Well, it says label them 1 to 7. If you just put them in order, you're marking your own homework, so you'll know what you meant. And then our final question for round 2. Used in several works by Damien Hirst, what is a vitrine? Used in several works by Damien Hirst, what is a vitrine? And that is the end of round 2. We'll be going ahead to the wipeout round in a second. If you want anything repeated, just take a moment to play it back to yourselves now. Alrighty, welcome back. Time for the wipeout round and the close of another week of Quizcazoatl. In the wipeout round, I'm going to give you 6 questions. The last letter of each answer becomes the first letter of the next answer, forming a chain through the wipeout. If you get all 6 correct, we give you 2 bonus points, or, more to the point, you give them to yourselves. If, however, you get any question wrong on the wipeout, then lose all your wipeout points. That's not just leaving something blank, that's getting something actively wrong. Capiche? Then here we go. Wipeout question 1. What type of bird gives its name to an uninhabited island close to Anglesey and a division of penguin books? Probably inhabited by birds, isn't it? But uninhabited by people, I suspect. Wipeout question 2. What, by the way, in case you haven't realised yet, I'm using the wipeout sign instead of the pause button for this one. Question 2. What is the 9-letter name for the branch of medicine that deals with disorders of the nervous system? Wipeout question 3. Can you tell me who is the current Shadow Home Secretary? A position she also held between 2011 and 2015. Wipeout question 4. What word is used for a planet that does not orbit a star and can also describe an unprincipled or dishonest person? Wipeout question 5. Who is the only person to win an Oscar for both writing and acting? She adapted a Jane Austen novel to win her 2nd award. And finally, for this week's quiz, Wipeout 6. Named after a Chinese city, which treaty of 1842 ended the First Opium War? Which treaty of 1842 ended the First Opium War? One of many "are we the baddies" moments for the British Empire in the 19th century. Alrighty then. Take a moment if you need it to finalise your Wipeout answers. When you hit play, we'll be going through the round 2 and Wipeout marking. Here we go. Round 2, question 1. The anagram, "Do hang your traitor now," is an anagram of how to train your dragon. How to train your dragon. The G for a meal kit is gusto. Gusto. Then question 3. The missing names. We wanted Jason and Kylie, or Scott and Charlene would do. So that was 1 point for either Jason and Kylie or Scott and Charlene. If you put Scott and Kylie or Jason and Charlene, probably time to go see the brain doctor. Question 2. Not a brain doctor as such, it's Doctor Who. Just the Doctor if you feel smug. And finally, question 3. Marilyn Monroe is the picture. If you put can of baked beans, no point for that. Question 4. The elder Williams sister is Venus. Question 5. The American media organisation with ideas worth spreading, although watch a few of them and you might doubt it, it's TED. Question 6. The older than they are younger people were or are or will be Eamon Holmes, then Selena Gomez, Mila Jovovich, and finally Frank Lampard. Question 7. The Disney princess with Angus is Merida, Princess Merida. She is the princess from Brave. Question 8. The mystery voices talking about the challenges of a live studio audience. It was Jennifer Aniston. Then, all the charisma you can pack into a leg of ham, it's Keir Starmer. And finally, mother of Liza Minnelli, it's Judy Garland. Question 9. The rhyming phrase for things have gone astray is "It's all gone, Pete Tong." If you got Pete Tong, that's the main bit, get the point. And then question 10. Our overlapping combinations were firstly Florida Ho, then Del Tango, then Oz London, then Marlibia, and finally Minskopje, which is to say Florida and Idaho, Delta and Tango, Oslo and London, Mali and Libya, Minsk and Skopje. 5 points, 1 for each pair. Question 11, a word for a complication, is snag. Question 12, the countries were with cheese, Switzerland. With the machete, it's Angola. With your mum, it's a mummy, not your mum, different thing. It's Egypt. It wasn't actually a mummy anyway, wasn't it? It was a pharaoh. Bad joke, badly made. And finally, a Siamese cat for Thailand. Switzerland, Angola, Egypt and Thailand. 4 points. Question 13. The playing area in which Olympic sport features 2 on-guard lines? It's fencing. Then Total Music Chaos. Well, that was just dreadful, wasn't it? Not made any better by the fact I don't think I've heard most of these songs. The first one, I was convinced that was the opening riff of Since You've Been Gone by Rainbow, but apparently it's AC/DC. Must be Back in Black, I guess. Then we had Katy Perry. The very distinctive little jingle at the start of Land Down Under by Men at Work. Then Justin Timberlake. We will then accept apparently either Mark Ronson or Bruno Mars. Don't ask me why. And the last one was Lizzo. AC/DC, Katy Perry, Men at Work, Justin Timberlake, Mark Ronson or Bruno Mars, and Lizzo. The Morgan Freeman films with paraphrased clues were $1 Million Baby, Batman Begins, The Shawshank Redemption, Bruce Almighty, Driving Miss Daisy, and Deep Impact. $1 Million Baby, Batman Begins, Shawshank Redemption, Bruce Almighty, Driving Miss Daisy, Deep Impact. The Greek scientist floating in his bath was Archimedes. The missing Val transport were the off-road vehicle, aircraft carrier, canoe, and icebreaker. The state that has a border with the Yukon is, of course, Alaska. Yukon's all the way up north, isn't it? And then question 19. The French departments were named for, first off, the Atlantic, then the Rhine, then the Loire, then the Seine, then the Pyrenees, then the Channel. If you've put the sleeve, well, fair play, you can have that, but I wouldn't encourage it. And finally the Alps. Atlantic, Rhine, Loire, Seine, Pyrenees, Channel and Alps. And finally question 20. A vitrine is a glass cabinet or display case, if you prefer. Glass cabinet or display case. That takes us to the Wipeout to finish up for today. The bird that names an island and is a division of Penguin Books is a puffin. The branch of medicine dealing with disorders of the nervous system is neurology. The Shadow Home Secretary is Yvette Cooper. The planet that does not orbit a star is is a rogue. The only person who has won Oscars for both writing and acting is Emma Thompson. And finally, the Chinese city that gave its name to the treaty ending the First Opium War is Nanjing, or Nanking if you prefer. Puffin, neurology, Yvette Cooper, rogue, Emma Thompson, and Nanjing. All that remains for me to say is, well done for making it through. I'm sorry about the musical chaos. It was an adventure. If you would like to share your score with the rest of our players, by all means feel free to post it up in the YouTube channel. Jane the Temple Elf and I did this just before we started, and we got
91 plus the music round.
We got 91 plus the music round, because someone wasn't listening to the music round answers. Let's have a quick check. We got 1, 2, 3 and a half, 4 and a half, yeah, 95 and a half maybe. Which is, could be worse. We did it very quickly, Anyway, hopefully you can beat that. Do feel free to let us know. If you would like to make a contribution to our charity appeal, justgiving.com/Quizcazoatl without borders. Again, clickable from the Facebook or from the YouTube About section. And do not forget that in just 2 weeks we are having our slightly delayed official second anniversary episode. It will be a hoot. We hope to have a big turnout for that one. See you next week. For our 5th Tuesday Quizcazoatl Live, or in 2 weeks' time for the big anniversary live special. TGFN.